Okay, so we're here with a quick one. Well, it's not going to be that quick because it's a tier list on Marvel Rivals. Specifically the Season 1 tier list. So this includes, obviously, you know, the half season. As you can see, all the characters are there. And just for some quick context, because, you know, I know a lot of people, like, unless you're certified or whatever, you can't really speak on these subjects, apparently. But let me put it like this. I hit Grandmaster about 2 weeks before the half season started. You know, I'm not one of these rank inflation dudes. And obviously all I've been doing right now is I've been playing with my friends that aren't, you know what I'm saying, as good. So basically I got 2 accounts, one on PC, which is my main one on PS5, which is just the one that I mess around on. So that's the one I've been playing on recently. And it's been a lot more fun not worrying about your rank, but you know what I'm saying? Let's get straight into it. Quickly as well with my rules. So S tier, essentially with S tier, I'm only have a limited amount of spaces in S tier. I do not like having S tier just filled with like every character in the game. So last season it was 6. I'm going to increase it to 9 since it's been 4 characters added. So usually it means that you can have 3 tanks, 3 supports, 3 DPS in there. Cool. I think that's it. Let's get started. Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is B tier in my opinion. Adam Warlock, when triple support was strong, he actually had a good place within the meta. Now, because triple support has been nerfed, like a lot of the support also been nerfed. I mean, you can still run triple support, it's still viable, but obviously, you know what I'm saying, it's not as strong as it was before, and even before it, I don't even think triple support was the best composition that you could run. But he works as a good off support. You know, I think the main problem with him is simply his 3 to 5 working day delivery heals. You know what I'm saying? You're waiting for that for a very, very long time, and there's going to be crucial moments where you're going to need him to heal, but you don't have any heals. His soul bond ability is really strong. Obviously, it can save, a lot of the time, it can save your team from just straight up dying, you know, and you can get situations where you just roll another team because you have so much health. And his revive is obviously, it can be strong, but I think the thing is that the thing that keeps him in B tier is the fact that you would rather have an ult or a support ult that keeps you alive rather than one that revives you when you're dead, if that makes sense. So Adam Warlock, B tier, he is strong, but obviously there's other supports who I believe are stronger than him. Now Black Panther, oh my god, the fall from grace was crazy. Black Panther, the tickle monster, is B tier. Not only does he struggle getting kills, he also, he's kind of bugged. So his abilities don't always reset his cooldowns. And that is very vital for a Black Panther, because if you don't have your cooldowns, you basically just explode. You're just going to be running away, running very slowly, and so you're just going to get shot in the head. So that's why Black Panther's B tier. You know, I feel like he needs, I don't know, maybe season 0, maybe it's that we just didn't understand the strongest characters yet, but maybe he needs a slight buff maybe, I don't know. I don't really know what you do with Black Panther. I think he's in an okay spot, it's just that maybe not a buff, at the very least they need to fix his cooldowns and fix the bug with that. Because, you know, if you hit a cooldown and it just doesn't reset it, then it feels like you've just been robbed. But yeah, that's Black Panther. I'm trying to go quickly, by the way. And, oh, I forgot to mention his ult as well. His ult, again, is just another cooldown for his, well, another reset for his cooldowns. So, yeah. Black Widow. Now, I've been the Black Widow defender. Black Widow is C tier in my opinion. She has utility. Let me put it like that. They've changed her in terms of they gave her in the half season an extra, essentially they doubled her magazine clip. And they, by the way, I don't know guns, so I'm assuming like they doubled her clip essentially, they doubled the amount of ammo that she has. They also changed her ult. They made it so that her ult, as far as I'm aware, it means that there's less slowdown, as in like you're going to be a lot faster within the ult, but you do more damage to people within the ult, which I think that can be very useful. That can be very useful in a lot of situations. Again, I don't think she's the best DPS by far, but there's also tricks you can do with Mantis. You know, you can give her damage boost, and I'm pretty sure she becomes a 1 hit in the head. So there's certain things you can do with Black Widow. She's not the absolute worst. She's not that bad. But, you know, again, like there's other characters you'd rather pick, which we'll come up to in a sec. But that play her specific role anyways, but we'll come to that in a sec. Hulk. Hulk is funny. A lot of people will say Hulk is S tier. I don't think so. At least with the way people play him. Let me also reiterate, well, not even reiterate, let me also just kind of state this as well. So this tier list is taking into account everything. You know, a lot of people like doing tier lists where they make high elo, low elo. I'll be honest, most characters that are good in high elo are going to be good in low elo, you know. It doesn't really matter. Like in my opinion, like I understand the sentiment, but you might as well just make a tier list for everyone because it kind of gives you it gives a better indication of where these characters actually are. Hulk is a good example of this because Hulk can be very, very dominant, S tier. You know, he can be very incredibly strong. However, Hulk is incredibly hard to play, and because he's been getting banned for Season 0 and a lot of, well, at least the first half of Season 1, no one really knows how to play him at a high level. That's the reality of Hulk. Now, okay, cool. We now have Storm, Wolverine mostly getting banned now, which we'll get to in a sec. Hulk, people can get a lot better with Hulk, especially in the high elo, and they can essentially show that he's not, at least he's not as bad as other people make him out to be when they play him, you know. But the problem with that is that he's just a hard character. Let me put it like this. I feel like I was going on a tangent, but he's just a hard character. So not only do people not get their reps with him, he's also hard to kind of pick up. Like, you need to understand what you're doing with him. You need to understand that essentially his Hulk transformations are invincibility frames. You need to understand that you don't just run into the back line no matter what. You need to understand when the frontline tank, help out your frontline, and then move to the back line, or even help out your own backline. You need to know when to do all these things and move around the map. You need to know where to place yourself. And the thing is, Hulk obviously has a massive hitbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a character that requires a lot of game knowledge, is what I'm trying to say. So, although he can be S tier, I'm going to put him in A tier for now. Obviously, things might change later on, depending on how I feel. But I think because of his difficulty, he has to go into A tier, because he's not a character you can just pick up and then just suddenly do good with. He's not. You know, a lot of people will tell you that, but they're lying. Like, people will ban him because they're like, Hulk is broken, but realistically, no one else has to play him. So yeah, that's Hulk. Felt like I went on a bit of tangent on that. I'm going to try and speed it up now. You know what I'm saying? And with that, we're going to go on to Captain America, who I think is C tier. Another quick thing as well, I'm going to be ranking them also based on where their roles are. So obviously, I'm going to rank the supports, the DPS, and the tanks, you know, kind of all together, if that makes sense. So, Captain America, he's B tier. He still does a whole bunch of nothing, but now he just has a little bit more consistent damage, I'd say, which I'd say is enough to put him into B tier. He has a lot more survivability, you know, especially with even just some quality of life changes, like being able to shield when he's jumping in the air. Is there really anything else to really say about him? He's just a mosquito. He's really just a mosquito, and he can be very, very dangerous, especially if your team are not putting enough pressure onto the Captain America. Like, if you actually just expect one healer to take out Captain America, you're leaving them to die, essentially. Like, yeah, you can ignore him, you can go over to your team, but like, again, like a lot of people, when they see Captain America, they kind of just ignore him, which is not very good, especially if again, it's a 1v1 situation. 2v1, a bit of a different story. Like, you can have two healers versus the Captain America and win, but like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people just leave him and let the healers die and then they'll go ahead and blame the healers for dying when the Captain America's been beating them up. I can do this all day in the backline. So, you know what I'm saying? Captain America is B tier. He can be strong. He might even, you know what I'm saying? He could definitely creep up even more. I'm pretty sure last season I put him in C tier. But yeah, I see the potential with him. I see the potential with him now. Oh, this one is going to be the most controversial character in the game, essentially, right now. Cloak and Dagger. I mean, the most controversial character. Maybe not the most controversial character, but it's going to be the most controversial placing that I put for Cloak and Dagger. And I'm actually going to put Cloak and Dagger in S tier. Now, before people get onto me and they say, oh, nah, this isn't the first half of the season, the second half, they got nerfed, they're not as good. What you also got to understand, especially with games like this, is that when you even go into the higher elos, most people are one tricks. I promise you, I've got a whole point to this, but most people are one tricks, you know. Someone that is for example, I'm a Doctor Strange main. I'm not just gonna flex unless it's absolutely necessary, you know. Like, unless I'm playing with someone that only literally knows how to play Doctor Strange, then cool, I'll flex. But more times out of 10, I'll play Strange. Most other people know how to play at least one or two other characters. Sometimes you're left in a position, especially if you're solo queuing up, you're left in a position where everyone else has already picked their characters and you're left with a healer. Someone's gone Luna. So your options are Rocket, Mantis, Cloak Dagger, who are the other healers? Jeff, whoever else. You got those options. Cloak Dagger is the easiest healer to just pick up and go. Legitimately. You can figure out Cloak Dagger within a round of domination. You can figure her out. Or figure them out. You know, a lot of people like to downplay this as being something that's important. Oh my days, Siri tried to talk to me. But a lot of people try to downplay this and act like it's not important. But being so honest, that is one of the more important things about this game. Being able to flex to a character that is just easy to pick up. You know. Last season, that's the reason why people started banning her. Because you could easily just pick her up and then she's just broken. She keep you alive and she can get easy kills. Now, obviously, it's a lot harder to do that. But it's not hard enough to the point where I'd actually suggest you move her down a tier. She's become less valuable, yeah, sure. But you can still do most of the things you were doing in last season. It's just that she's not as oppressive as she used to be. However, again, if I'm playing if I'm a Doctor Strange main, Strange is gone, the other tank's gone, everyone's picked 2 DPS, and there's only one healer left, and someone's gone Luna, I'm going Cloak Dagger. That feels like a very convoluted way to just say like they're very easy to pick up and very strong as it is. You can also you could argue, well, why wouldn't you play Mantis, Loki, or whatever? Cloak Dagger, you don't have to even aim. You know, you can say the same thing about Rocket, but Cloak Dagger is better than Rocket. You know, Cloak Dagger, you don't have to aim. A lot of it is just knowing your positioning and knowing how to utilize your abilities. You can learn that in a round, and that's very quick, and her abilities are still quite strong. So that's the reason why I'm slapping her in S tier. There is an argument she goes down. You know, this even happened last season. There was an argument she was A tier, S tier, A tier, S tier. No one really knew. But in my opinion, she's still S tier just because I've seen it now and I understand why she is as powerful as she is. Not only that, her healing's pretty consistent, as well as her damage with, well, their damage with Cloak and his debuff ability, which is quite strong because a lot of people, when you use that debuff ability, they're not thinking about also the blindness that it gives. You know, and blindness in a game like Marvel Rivals is low-key really strong, at least in my opinion. But you know, that's the long-winded Cloak and Dagger explanation. S tier. Another person joining them in S tier, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, he is the perfect tank. At this point, all I'm saying is that NetEase shouldn't nerf him anymore, because the only way you nerf Doctor Strange now, without it seeming unfair, is legitimately just reworking his entire kit, because his kit is perfect. His kit is just entirely perfect. Like, it's not... His problem isn't his health, his problem isn't his cooldowns, his problem is none of that, it's just his kit. Like, Doctor Strange, obviously, he has his little combo with the magic shots, whip, magic shot, whip, explosion. A lot of the time, that leads to a KO. Obviously, he can fly, so he's got the mobility. He's got, I'm trying to think what else he even has. Because he's got a lot. He's got his shield. His shield, obviously, is better than Magneto's shield, at least in my opinion. Especially with the fact that Magneto's shield got nerfed. He's got 2 ults, essentially, because he's got his teleport, which can honestly be considered an ult-like ability. You know, there's multiple times where I've died on the point, came back, it's overtime, it's legit do or die now. I teleport straight onto the straight onto the point. My entire team's dead. I survive for a little bit. They're able to come back straight away, jump on the point, and we win the game. And he has Eye of Agamotto, which you can, you know, do the Doctor Strange, you know, combo, get to 100 dark magic, Eye of Agamotto, and then wipe out an entire team. So he's got a team wipe too. His kit is just perfect, you know, and I hate the fact that, like, because of that and because of how powerful he is, he's probably going to continuously get nerfed. But I don't think he should. You know, that's just his kit. It's not even a thing of, like, he is broken powerful. It's just that he's strong, at least in my opinion. You know, a lot of people will probably disagree. But, you know, I just don't think he's broken. I don't think there's anything that he showed me which showed that, like, oh, he is super broken or anything like that. It's just that he's strong and his kit works well. And it synergizes with each other well. So that's Doctor Strange. Again, I'm going to try and move this faster along because I'm not trying to make this like a 4-hour video. Groot, I think is A tier. I'm going to put him behind the Hulk. So left to right, left is best, right is the worst. Again, in role order. So supports are going to be separate from the DPS and the tanks, for example. But Groot, I think he's a strong tank that can actually play solo tank. Surprisingly, you know. The only thing I think Groot lacks is his mobility. Like, Groot can definitely have a little bit more mobility, but obviously that's just part of his character. However, he's incredibly strong with his walls. You can get him up to, I think, 1100 health with the Iron Wall if you place that in a good position. You can also use it for defense, but honestly, you should just place it to the side where people are most likely not to shoot it. His Grass Walls, I think they have the highest potential to do damage in the game for tanks. So he has the highest damage potential out of the tanks, just with the Grass Walls, because obviously if you put them behind someone and then you hit them, it does the extra damage. And he's just good at locking off areas. Like, Groot is just very strong. Again, not broken. And he's pretty easy to pick up. I think that's the main reason why he is solidified in the A tier, is the fact that he's also easy to pick up. You know, he can seem kind of daunting when you see all the walls and you're seeing all the placements, but he's not really that hard to play. So Groot, A tier, deserved A tier. Very good character. Hawkeye. Now, I think Hawkeye's better than Black Widow. I'm going to put Hawkeye... I want to put him in C tier. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to put him in B tier. Behind Black Panther. The reason why I want to put him in C tier, because again, I'm taking into account the win rates with these characters as well. Hawkeye has one of the worst win rates in the game. However, I think, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think the reason why that is because a lot of people try to play him when they do not have the mechanical skill. However, if you do have the mechanical skill, again, that one shot is still very, very powerful. You know, Hawkeye can be very, very strong. Of course, his primary thing is his just primary shot. That's his main ability, because all of his other ones are kind of, I guess they're there, you know. So if you're very mechanically gifted, then yeah, Hawkeye can definitely be a guy that can carry you. His ult as well, his ult's very strong. Obviously, if you do the team up with Black Widow, that gives her even more utility. However, again, I don't think Hawkeye Black Widow is even a good DPS lineup, if you want my honest opinion. But yep, he's B tier. He's pretty good. In the wrong hands though, they bring him all the way down to D tier. But obviously in the right hands, A tier, S tier, you know what I'm saying. So he's pretty down the road. It's just all depending on your skill. Hela. Now, this character I might legitimately need to go back on, because I want to put her in S tier, but there's a certain character who I need to speak about first, who we'll get to it when we get to it. But Hela is an A tier, the top of A tier, essentially. I don't think there's any other DPSs that are better than Hela in the A tier. Again, specify the A tier. So, Hela, she got slightly weaker from Season 0, because obviously from Season 0 to Season 1 she got nerfed and then they buffed her again. You know, as far as I'm aware, I think she can free tap again. She can do her combo, she can fulfill her combo, which just kills someone outright, I'm pretty sure. Again, I don't really know, because again, for some reason I don't see a lot of Helas. But she's basically similar, not the exact same, because she's not as strong as what she was in Season 0, so she's still very, very strong, but I think she's just in a very balanced position now, where she lines up with the other DPS in the game. She's not OP now. Her ult's still very strong, but again, people have figured out ways to counter it. Anything else? She's got a good escape tool as well, I guess. She's Hela. I'm gonna keep it real. She's Hela. She's strong. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Not really. Like, her team up, her team up's still there with Thor and Loki, but again, that's if you want to run that team up. But yeah, she's strong. A tier. Iron Fist. This is actually an interesting character. I'm going to put him above Hawkeye because, again, you know, win rates and things of that nature. Iron Fist, I think, goes in the B tier. he's in a very interesting spot. People are saying that he is up there now. People think he's a problem. People think he's Wolverine 2.0. Iron Fist is a character where he only wins in a 1v1. I don't understand why people don't understand this. Like, people will say he's broken, he's S tier, if you 2v1 him, he dies. This is gonna be the same with another character I'm gonna bring up, which you guys are gonna, again, it's gonna be controversial. Iron Fist dies in a 2v1. A lot of the time, and people don't understand, and I see this all the time, they don't understand that once you see him parry, stop shooting him. Stop shooting him. Stop giving him free health. Iron Fist is not that hard to kill, I don't think, and he's not even, I've seen the damage he can do to tanks, but he doesn't put the fear in my heart as a tank main. He doesn't do that, still. The only time that happens is when I'm in a 1v1 situation and I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, why is no one else trying to help me? I see someone behind me that and they're not trying to help me. Like, just 2v1 him and he's done. Keeping it real. And as far as I'm aware, they nerfed his damage towards squishies. So, yeah, he's less of an assassin now and he's more of just a frontline beater, but he's not Wolverine. I think maybe they did that because obviously Wolverine gets banned a lot, so it gives you a second option if you're a Wolverine type player. But yeah, that's Iron Fist. I think he has the potential. Maybe we can see in the future because people again are saying he's strong. A tier, even S tier maybe. Right now, I think he's B tier, below Black Panther. He might be above Black Panther, but I think he's below Black Panther for now. I'll give Black Panther the benefit of the doubt. Iron Man. Iron Man is B tier. The fall from grace from Iron Man is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. And again, it's stuff to do with the Hulk. Well, it's a similar situation to the Hulk. A lot of people don't know how to play Iron Man. People will ban the Hulk to stop the Iron Man team up, but they don't realize that people do not know how to play Iron Man. And I think Iron Man went from S tier and then he slowly dropped down because people realized he's not that big of a problem. Like, he can if the Iron Man player is cracked out, but more times out of 10, you're not going to find a cracked out Iron Man player. Like, he's still difficult to play. And it's purely because he has that vertical motion now. He's a little bit different to the other characters where he can now use vertical areas as cover. And he's basically useful, at least before the half season, he's useful without Gamma. Now they've buffed his overdrive ability without the Gamma. And they've nerfed Gamma a little bit. So he's kind of in that position where it's like, he's still good. The Gamma team up is still good, but obviously it's not what it used to be. So which dropped him down a significant amount. Like, I think he can still be a strong character because again, flying characters are still valuable, but he's not a must pick now if Hulk isn't banned. And more times out of 10, Hulk is not really gonna get banned anymore, especially because Storm, Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to them. But that's where I think Iron Man is. I think he's in the middle of the pack of the B tier when it comes to DPS. Jeff, DPS King Von Jeff. Jeff is the worst healer in the game, but if you play him as DPS, oh my god, he is a problem. That's the reason why he's going to B tier. I think he's the worst healer in the game. He's the worst at doing his job. However, you can play him as an off support. And if you play him as an off support, he cannot die. If you die with him, you're just bad. Bro is annoying. He's basically unkillable, especially in his like hide and seek mode. Obviously, he gets health back. His ult can be clutch at times. Yeah, people know how to kind of counter it now. Yeah, sure. But it can still be clutch, just getting people off the point, giving your team a little bit of time to get onto the point or to secure a point. It's still strong. It still can be strong. The reason why I think he's not as good as Adam Warlock is simply just because I think Adam Warlock has more utility. But Jeff, he's still Jeff, you know what I'm saying? Like they basically go hand in hand in my opinion. That's how I view them. If I see an Adam Warlock, I'm like, I'm just hoping he knows how to play Adam Warlock. If I see a Jeff, I'm like, I'm just hoping we have a third support. And if we got that, cool, DPS Jeff. I understand what you're trying to do. But if we're playing Jeff and one other support, I don't really trust you because I feel like I'm going to die before I even get the chance to, you know what I'm saying, do anything. But that's why I put Jeff. I think he's just okay. I think he's just pretty good. Like, obviously in the triple support comp, he's a lot better. But I think by himself, he can't solo heal, essentially. I mean, every character can't really solo heal, but you know what I'm saying? I would not trust a healer Jeff. Loki. Loki. Ooh. I don't know. I want to put him in S tier. I think he might even be better than Cloak and Dagger at the moment. I need to see how big this S tier gets. I might move him down eventually. But Loki, the reason why he's S tier is because, again, he's like Doctor Strange. And he has an ability which can basically almost be like an ult. And that's his like runes. His runes are essentially an immortality thing, you know? And they can be very, very clutch. He does a lot of damage, especially with his clones. A lot of people in low ranks, they don't understand how the clones work, but his clones are essentially double damage, triple damage, as well as double healing, triple healing, depending on obviously what his healing output already is at base. He just has a lot of utility. That's basically just why I put Loki in S tier. And his ult is obviously the best ult in the game because it can be any ult. He can be Doctor Strange ult, he can be Cloak and Dagger ult, he can be Hulk ult, it doesn't really matter. He has the best ult in the game just purely because of that. So I think he's S tier. I might have to bring him down purely because I think I might break my rule with putting him in S tier, but we'll find out in a sec. Luna, again S tier. I think she's the best healer in the game at the moment. Luna, she's just your standard healer. She's your default healer if you want to have a good game. It's the same thing with Doctor Strange. He's your default tank. He's the best tank in the game. Luna's right now the best healer in the game. Again, support ults got nerfed very, very heavy. So that's the reason why a lot of this looks like the way it does. Again, last half season, it would probably look something like that. But because the support ults got nerfed, and Cloak and Dagger obviously got nerfed again, it kind of makes it hard for me to, again, this is why I might have to move Cloak and Dagger down or whatever, but Luna is just basically, she's just solid, you know, she's got good abilities, she can freeze, enemies coming up to you, so Black Panther or any other dire characters coming up to her, she can freeze them, and obviously you can then double team them with your other support. She's got her clap ability, which lets you heal through other objects and other people. What else? And obviously she's got her little snowflake ability, which lets her put the snowflake on someone, so when she heals someone, that person also gets extra health. Her ult, again, is just the default healer ult. Gives you immortality, very, very strong. And it also gives you a damage boost if you want that, but obviously most people only use it for the healing. So, solid, strong, S tier. Again, I'm trying to go through this kind of quick. Magik is A tier. A lot of people always try and downplay Magik, say she's not that strong, say that she's not all that. Don't get me wrong, I don't think she's the strongest DPS in the game, but she's solid. She's one of the more solid DPSs in the game. You know, like, I'd still put her above a lot of the other DPSs in the game, I'll be real. And I think the things with Magik is that a lot of people are ignoring the fact that you put her on any team and you've got a solid DPS. She doesn't really struggle against anything. People are going to say Bucky. We'll get to him in a sec, but there's not really many counters to a Magik. I mean, in terms of like a hard counter you have to switch, if that makes any sense. You know, there's other characters on this list that are going to have hard counters, but Magik, she's just solid. She can pull out her combo, get a kill straight away. She can harass the healers, what you need to do. She can brawl on the front line and actually harass anchor tanks like Doctor Strange, because obviously she has a melee, her attacks are melee. She's just strong. Let me put it like that. She's just strong, and she's stronger than a lot of the other DPSs in the game. So I'm going to put her in A tier, below Hela, because obviously Hela is Hela. But, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm putting her right now. Magneto. Magneto is the second strongest tank in the game. Obviously, his value went down with Cloak and Dagger's value. Obviously, with Cloak and Dagger being weaker, less people obviously opting to pick her, and her ult not being as oppressive, is kind of it feels like a waste to waste Magneto ult on Cloak and Dagger, I'll be real, but you know what I'm saying. Or waste the Magneto pick on just because to counter Cloak and Dagger, it's not really worth it anymore. Again, his ult is still strong. It can still counter other stuff. It can counter like Punisher ult, for example. It can even counter, I'm pretty sure, other healer ults. He can get kills through that. But again, just compared to Doctor Strange, Strange has the perfect kit, whereas Magneto has a strong kit, but it's not obviously perfect. Like, for example, he doesn't have much mobility. You know what I'm saying? If he gets stuck, he's stuck. He can't really move around. So, you know, it's potatoes. They're very in line with each other, but obviously Doctor Strange is just him. Let me put it like that. One thing I will say about his abilities though is that the clutch ability that he does have obviously is his bubble. It can clutch in terms of getting ults off. Like for example, if you do have, God forbid, you have a Scarlet Witch on your team, you can bubble her so she can get her ult off, or you can bubble people that are low health and trying to get out, or even bubble your other tank. That works too. He can be strong, but again, I feel like obviously he got buffed with his damage, but I feel like his nerf to his shield, I feel like that's a lot more significant when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, because that could be the difference between life or death in terms of survivability. So Magneto S tier, not as strong as Strange, but still there, you know. Mantis, I still think is A tier. Where's the other? Oh, there's no other sports in A tier yet. Yeah, Mantis is A tier. I think she's strong. I think she's a good off support. I think she can do a lot more damage and a lot more than what other people expect. You know, a lot of people, they will see Mantis and they'll be like, oh, but she's not giving, you know, good enough heals. She's not, but that's not really her role. She's like Adam Warlock, but better, in my opinion. You know, she's got the support ult in terms of the big healing invincible. She's got that. But obviously a lot of people in the game, especially when you're in the lower elos, they're looking for people that can just give you straight consistent heals. With Mantis, you have to be mechanically good, which is why I'm surprised they give her a 1 tier. But you need to be mechanically good with her in order to give those constant heals and be as consistent with it. And that's why people struggle to play her and think that she's not as good. But she is really good when put in the right hands with someone that is mechanically good. So Mantis goes in A tier. Very strong character. She didn't even really drop that much down from season 0, but I think it's just obviously the message changed. So yeah. Moon Knight. The moon haunts you is in C tier. Blood, I love Moon Knight, but oh my god, he sucks. Moon Knight is a troll pick because he's like Black Widow. If I see a Moon Knight, I'm like, oh my god, just pick someone that can actually get a kill. Because he's a duelist, but he's the worst duelist in terms of dueling other duelists. He can't duel anybody else. He's only good at crowd control. That's Moon Knight. He's good at crowd control. He's good in those big areas where everyone's all scrunched up together and he can just hit a bunch of people. But the problem with Moon Knight is that once he does that, yeah, he can charge up his ult pretty quick, but now his ult got nerfed. So with his ult nerfed, he's not as reliable as a DPS as he was beforehand. So, yeah, I'm not saying he's the worst. Again, like, if I see a Moon Knight, I'm like, but I'm like, okay, it's not that bad, but he's not the best pick, I'll be real. So, yeah, that's why I'm putting Moon Knight. Namor. Oh, you guys are gonna like this one. S tier. Okay, cool. Namor, that's what we're at. Namor. Well, as you can see, with Luna in the S tier, and it's let me put it like this: that team up between Namor and Luna makes him broken. Even without the team up, Namor is still incredibly strong, and that's the reason why I believe he deserves S tier. When people figured out that you can flank with Namor, boy, the floodgates opened. The floodgates opened. I'm gonna keep it real. Namor is incredibly strong, and my one thing with this game is that people with equipment seem to be a lot stronger than other people without equipment. Namor can kill squishies very, very quickly, especially with his ability to, like, you know, his trident ability when he has both his squids out and they go aggressive. He can kill squishies incredibly quickly. He has good survivability in terms of his escape move, you know, his high seas move where he jumps in the water bubble. He's just a nuisance, and he shuts down flank. He shuts down flanking characters. He's just a nuisance. Like, Namor is legitimately S tier, and when people even ban him in the high ranks, you know, you don't see it as often because obviously there's bigger problems out there, but when you see bans for Namor, you understand why. Like, obviously, usually it's because someone is playing a dive character, but you know what I'm saying? Like, even banning him out the game, like, it's not a crazy shout, you know? It's not a crazy shout. Like, Namor is very, very strong. I feel like the reason why he wasn't acknowledged, obviously, is because a lot of people, when they first saw him, they were like, who's Namor? Don't really care about Namor. But, you know, as time went on, people started realizing, oh, this guy is pretty strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, people warmed up to him. and now I think he just firmly sits in the S tier as one of the best DPSs in the game. One thing I will say with the S tier as well, before we move on, a lot of these characters just change the way you play the game. They change the whole momentum of the game whenever these characters are played. They are power characters. So that's what you gotta understand when I'm putting characters in S tiers, because they're power characters. When you pick them, you're most likely making the entire flow of the game change. So let's move on to Peni. Peni. Because I've got Captain America up here, I'm gonna put Peni up here too. I don't like Peni, but that's just biased. Like, I think she's actually okay. She's not the worst tank in the game by far. She's not, I mean, to be fair, what are the other tanks looking like? Essentially, she's good. I think she's good. I don't think she's very, very good, because I think a lot of the time, people get thrown off by Peni because of her mines, her nest, and people don't shoot our equipment, again, making her a lot more powerful than what she actually is. But Peni, even still, like, I can't put her down just because people aren't using common sense. You get what I'm trying to say? She still does a lot of damage. You still get caught by her mines in the nest or whatever. You still die. You know, she still has value. I think the main problem with Peni is that she doesn't have any sort of defense for herself. Like, the only thing she has is the nest, which is why I think she firmly sits in the B tier. Now, obviously, if you have the Venom team up, you have invincibility frames as far as I'm aware, so that can give you a little bit more survivability and a little bit more damage as well. But again, in my opinion, it doesn't do enough. So yeah, Peni is in B tier. She's strong, but again, just not the strongest tank in the game. Psylocke. Psylocke's an A tier. I think Psylocke, yeah, we can put Psylocke above Magik. In fact, I would say, you know what, let me not do that. Let me put it like this. Psylocke is still very strong. She can get kills very, very easily. You know, she's got things like invisibility. She's got good mobility and a good amount of damage just in her primary attacks. But I think the place where she lacks the most is obviously in her ult. Her ult was just less consistent as it was back in Season 0. Her ult in Season 0 was honestly broken. Like, you could legitimately get like a good bunch of kills, but now it's like, yo, I see that ult and I'm not even too worried about it. So that's simply put for Psylocke. She is strong, she's a solid DPS, but again, you know, you see Hela and you're gonna see a couple other DPSs soon that are just up there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna move on to, you know what I'm saying, I can't even call him a YN because he's not a YN, but you know what I'm saying? He's got sticks. He's the Punisher. A lot of the time when you see Punisher in your games, they ain't punishing nobody, but I'm keeping it real. He is very, very strong as long as you got the right team comp around him. You know, with Punisher, he's one of those characters where he's not like most DPSs, their main job is to shoot the squishies, shoot out the healers. With Punisher, a lot of the time he is dealing frontline damage, which when the frontline backs up, he's then able to hit the squishies, if that makes any sense. That's a lot of what he's doing. He draws out the backline and then he shoots the backline. Whereas a lot of other DPSs, they just go straight for the backline. Or at least that's what you should try and aim to do, but obviously if you're not in position to, then you know, there's other squishies like the duelists, and also you can apply pressure to the frontline. So what I'm trying to say with that is that he applies pressure to the frontline. Which is why sometimes you can feel as if he doesn't do anything. But realistically, a lot of the time, if your other DPS is competent enough to apply pressure to the other team, he ends up becoming very powerful because obviously they're just dealing with a hail of bullets. The opposite team is just dealing with a whole hail of bullets. On top of that, if you have a Rocket team up, unlimited ammo, faster fire rate on shotgun and his assault rifle. And this season, I don't think it's as strong as it was, or at least this half season, but it's still very useful, it's still very good. But yeah, he's just a solid DPS, belongs in the A tier, at least in my opinion. Rocket. Here's where I get the hate. Here's where I'm gonna get the hate. Rocket is A tier, and I've gotten a whole bunch of dislikes, and people think I'm incredible. Rocket is A tier. You wanna know why he's A tier? Similar reasons to Cloak Dagger. And the fact that he has one of the more powerful just abilities in the game, which is just his revive. I'm gonna keep it real. His revive can make you go from making you lose a fight to you winning the fight. If someone runs in like an idiot and dies, and he's got his revive up, you just respawn. It becomes a 6v6 again. You even up the advantage. And a lot of the time, if the enemy team has not seen the rocket, or they're not expecting the rocket revive, they're expecting to roll. Like, you know, if they're not looking up at the top right and they see the revive, they're just expecting to roll. Not only that, his healing is pretty consistent. Like, yeah, it's got 2 to 3 day delivery. It's not Adam Warlock's 3 to 5 day delivery, but it's more consistent than Adam Warlock. Obviously, the main part where Rocket lacks in, and obviously we all know. Let me get into character. Hey team, enjoy the amplifier. That's what we hate. That's the only thing. Like, if Rocket did healing with that ult, he would be way more powerful, and he'd probably be confirmed A tier, even maybe S tier. But because he doesn't have healing on that ult, that's why people just hate him. People just don't want to see him. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, he's not that bad of a healer. He's not that bad of a support. Obviously, he's a bit of a heal bot, I'll be real. But again, if no one knows, if you're put in a situation, you're solo queuing, everyone's picked their characters, you don't know how to play any other characters, nor does anyone else, and you're stuck with a healer role, you can play Rocket and figure him out pretty quickly. Not only that, he's incredibly hard to kill because of his small ass hitbox. Incredibly hard to kill. If you die as Rocket, you're just bad. Or not only that, either you're bad or you're legit getting targeted and your team is not, you know, aware and deciding to kill these other DPSs or whatever they're trying to get. So that's Rocket. I think he's A tier. I don't actually think he's as bad as people make him out to be. People say B tier, people say C tier. I think he's actually A tier, in my opinion. That's the most controversial thing in this video so far, other than maybe Cloak Dagger. That's probably the most controversial thing in this video so far. Scarlet Witch. Yeah, Spider-Man. Okay, no, let me go back. I like the buffs they done for Scarlet Witch. You know, they made her slightly stronger. They've also given her plus extra 100 health on her ult. It's still slow. They need to just speed up the ult, I think. I think if you speed up the ult, she ends up in C to B tier. But with the fact that she isn't that consistent of a damage dealer, you know what I'm saying? She ain't that good. But, you know, I guess she could give Magneto his team up. I guess. But me personally, when you get to higher ranks, just don't play Scarlet Witch. Like, I've seen top 500 players even play Scarlet Witch and do well with her. It's just that most of you guys are not top 500, so. And even then, top 500 player probably would still slap her in CT. So, let's keep her there. Man, Scarlet Witch, I'm praying for you, man. Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is actually B tier. Spider-Man's had a bit of a glow up, I'm not gonna lie. Especially if he has the Venom team up. I've heard a lot of people say that, yeah, you need the Venom team up to play Spider-Man. I actually would agree. I'll get to Venom in a sec. I would agree. But Spider-Man, he can still be annoying without the Venom team up. He can still be very strong. It's just that you have to be very precise and you have to do a lot more than what, for example, the Punisher has to do to get a kill. You know, Punisher, you shoot them in the head, they die. Spider-Man, you have to set them up, you have to aim. You know what I'm saying? You have to go in for the kill. If you don't get the kill, you need to swing out because your cooldowns are done. And not only that, his ult is strong, especially if you go in there, you know, I forgot what he says in the ult, but you know what I'm saying? If you go in there behind the scenes, you know, you sneak in there and you get a couple people that are grouped together, that's pretty strong. And it also stuns them, you know, CC. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not on the same level as these A tier guys. Obviously, we'll talk about Venom in a sec, we'll talk about his team up in a sec, but yeah, like, for all that effort just to get one kill, me personally, I can't put you any higher than the B tier. I think he's obviously more consistent than Black Panther, because, you know what I'm saying, we went over that. Iron Man again. Iron Fist, I really do want to put him kind of, but we'll see. We'll see with Iron Fist. I'm still not too keen on that one. I feel like actually I might put him above Iron Man. To be fair, I want them to be a lot closer, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see with Iron Fist. But Spider-Man, I think he's just firmly B tier. I don't think there's anything you could do unless you give him major buffs to make him into the A tier. But we'll get into the team up in a second. Squirrel Girl, I think she's B tier too. Yeah, I think she's top of the B tier. I feel like at the start of the season when she got buffed, a lot of people were starting to see the power of Squirrel Girl, and to be honest, I saw it too. Squirrel Girl was looking very, very powerful, very, very strong, but I feel like as the season went on, people figured it out more, and she, dropped back down. And I think a lot of what, the reason why I put Squirrel Girl on beta is because a lot of people don't realize that you need to shoot head on with Squirrel Girl. Like, yes, she's got explosive, nuts, pause, if needed, but she, if you hit people straight on, you do more damage. A lot of people just don't know that. So people, like, she's got a good CC, she's got good good damage overall, but a lot of people just shoot her acorns or nuts, whatever they are. They just shoot them out randomly and expect kills. But you know what I'm saying? You a lot of the time, if you get kills on the final hit, you're doing about maybe 50 damage. You're not doing that much. You're just cleaning up, if anything. So yeah, I guess you could slide her into the A tier, but I don't know. I just don't think she's as powerful as we all originally thought. Like me, I was about to, like, at the start of the season, like I'm talking about before even the half season, I was like, yeah, she's A tier probably, but I still think she's here. She could. I think even my last tier list, I put her in A tier, but she could go up to the A tier, especially with her ult being buffed and fixed. But I'm still iffy on her. She's like in between B and A tier for me. Star-Lord is A tier. I feel like a good Star-Lord can definitely carry your team. Not even feel like, I know a good Star-Lord can definitely carry your team. And especially with the all the ult supporters being nerfed, he is incredibly strong. He is a very good pickup. He's on Hela levels of, like, you know what I'm saying? Him and Hela, pick them up if you play DPS. Pick them up. However, do I think Star-Lord changes the game, changes the way you play the game? Not really. He's just a strong flanker type of character that also you need to kind of learn how to front line and then go into the back line. He's similar to Hulk, in my opinion, in terms of that type of gameplay sense. Like, yeah, you can play him front line. I've seen people play Star-Lord front line, but obviously a lot of his value comes from you going off from the back, finding someone to pick off, or finding someone just to get a little bit of damage out of, making sure you're hitting them headshots. And then once you ult in the back line, kill everyone. That's essentially Star-Lord's whole game plan. I think he's got very strong abilities. I think obviously he has his combo ender with his little dancing move or whatever. He has invincibility frames for his dodges, which also reloads his gun, which is very, very strong. And also he can fly. And since they buffed his fly, I think he even increased his value even more. But the one thing I will say about Star-Lord is, again, you need to know how to play Star-Lord. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know how to play him. A lot of people aren't really that good with him. A lot of people don't even know he's a flanker. That's what you're meant to do with Star-Lord. Flank and just get those, slip in and out. That's the type of character he is. You slip in and out. But I digress. Hope that's the correct way of saying that. Star-Lord A tier, strong, deserve it. Now we're gonna go into broken character, another broken character, Storm. I still find it amazing that it was one, Storm went from D tier to S tier with one buff. And even now, they've got her in a position, but she's just constantly in the S tier. She's just constantly still very, very strong. Not only can she fly, she's even better if you're on the ground. You play on the ground. That's the funny thing. But not only can she fly, she buffs your teammates in terms of damage. Obviously, you can buff the movement, but who's actually using that? You buff your teammates in terms of damage. Obviously, you got the one ability where she just summons lightning whenever you, I think it's whenever you shoot people. You just get a consistent level of lightning, which means you can get kills pretty good. Obviously her actual primary attack, her primary bullets are quite fast now, so you can actually hit targets. And not only that, her ult is broken. I wouldn't say broken, okay, maybe not broken is the correct term, but very, very strong. You get it quite quickly, and then she just essentially eliminates whoever she wants, 1, 2 to the entire team, depending on where they're standing. So yeah, Storm, if you can pick her, pick her. If she is banned, most of the time she is, oh well. You know what I'm saying? You still got Namor, you can pick. You know what I'm saying? But Storm is a certified S tier character. Thor, ooh. I think Thor's had a slight fall in grace, I don't know. He's either low A tier or high B tier. I don't know. I think for now, I'm gonna put him in I'm gonna put him in B tier actually. Thor, I think again he's had a fall from grace. But I think it's more so just how the meta has changed. It's not really that he's weak. You know, I think he's actually quite strong and he can be quite strong. I think the main thing with Thor though is that he just can't be a solo tank. You know, all these other characters except for Hulk, obviously, but Hulk is just that much better as an off tank. But all the other tanks can play solo tank. Thor, I think the main thing with him is he can't play solo tank. At least that's how I would put it. Like, his actual abilities are strong. You know, in his Ascended God form, he does a lot of damage, but would I say he's the same as Groot? Not really. A good Groot kind of outplays a good Thor, but Thor can be a hard carry, especially in the lower levels. But when you get up to the higher levels, yeah, people are kind of targeting you, especially if you're out of position. But he's got a little bit of tech here and there. Like, he can drag tanks into either your own team or further back to create more space. You know, again, his Ascended ability lets him just kill squishies just like that. And his ult's actually pretty strong now, especially since he can't get CC'd out of it, but yeah. I want to put him A tier, I'm not gonna lie, but I think just because we've got another tank I've got to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And it's not Venom. Venom is B tier. Venom is, I'd say, it's probably here. Peni, I think, is a little bit better. But obviously, you play them together. You play a full dive comp. Where's Venom? Where's Spider-Man? Yeah, I say that. If you play full dive comp with just Venom, Spider-Man, and then whoever else, they're strong. But with where they're at right now, if you play them solo, yeah, they're not very strong. Like, Venom is legit just a huge bullet sponge. He because of the fact that you also have to be mechanically good with him and aim, he's a character that's like, yeah, you can get kills, but if the team targets you, you're just dead. It's one of them ones, like, if the team just targets you, you're just dead. You're out of position, and you have to either swing out or die. Like, there's nothing really else you can do there. With the team up, obviously, Spider-Man becomes a lot more strong. He gets his he becomes a lot more consistent because of the symbiote thing, because he gets invincibility frames and can also get more people. He can kill more people. Venom, obviously, he just has more pressure in the backline to help him out, so that's why they go up a rank. But by themselves, like, boy, by themselves, like, I see a Spider-Man, I'm just praying he's good. I see a Venom, I'm just like, can you just go to someone more consistent? You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, if I see like a Black Panther, I'm not too pressed. Squirrel Girl, I'm not too pressed. Iron Fist, I'm not too pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, Iron Fist a little bit, but it's like, because he's more frontline now, it's a little bit easier to manage him. But yeah, that's where I put them. Obviously, if they're on their team up, yeah, A tier. But if they're not, yeah, they're firmly in the B tier. Now here comes the other. I think this is the third most controversial character I've talked about in this video. Bucky. Now, I'm gonna put him in S tier purely because of what everyone else has been saying. I don't actually think he's S tier. I'll be so real. I think he's top at A tier, if anything. I think Hela is better than him. However, because I take into account what other people are saying, I take into account the fact that maybe I just don't see it as a tank player, I'll put him in S tier. The bottom of S tier. You want to know why people keep saying he's broken? They think that his hook is broken. They think that he does too much damage. They think his ult's broken. Bucky has the same exact problem as Adam Warlock. Same exact problem as Magneto. I'm trying to think of other characters that have no mobility. He doesn't have mobility. You can kill him. He's not that hard. Iron Fist as well, but like, Iron Fist has mobility. It's more so a thing of, with Bucky, with the Winter Soldier, you need to, as soon as you see him, armed and dangerous, shoot him. I think a lot of people get confused with the fact that when you hear the ult, you think that, oh, you can 1v1 him. No, when he ults, it's like, for example, when Hulk has his ult. One person is not meant to shoot him. Your whole team is meant to blam him. You know what I'm saying? Your whole team is meant to shoot him. You know, he doesn't have a typical DPS ult where you can just kind of like wait for him to do his thing and then just go back to normal. He essentially is a character where it's like, as soon as you hear that, focus fire him, kill him, get him out of the game. Even when he's not ulting, he has no mobility, you can kill him. A lot of the time, a lot of people, they will try and take this 1v1 with Bucky, but it's like, if you just 2v1 him, he's stressing. He is stressing. He doesn't know what to do. He's a very easy kill. He doesn't really move around that much. He's legit just a big bulky dude that has a pistol. Now, that's not me saying his abilities are weak. They're very strong. But I think people take it a little bit... I think a lot of people are scarred from solo queue. Let me put it like that. I feel like a lot of people are scarred from solo queue and are scarred from the fact that like maybe they don't communicate as much as they should and they don't focus the people that they should. Like I think a lot of people's target priority is just a little bit off, and that's the reason why they keep saying Bucky is broken. But I think he's personally A tier, but because I understand people are struggling with him S tier, but I just don't think he's... I'm saying I do want to put him there and just get Hela up in there too, but in fact I'll probably put them both here, I'll be honest, to leave space for my man. But you know what, we'll put him in S tier, and I need to count how many characters in S tier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, fine, I don't mind this. Wolverine. As long as, wait, let me just make sure I count this correct. Okay, so 9 people in there. Yeah, Wolverine. One person does have to move down. Fine, I'll move Cloak Dagger down. Fine. Okay. You'll see what I'm saying in a sec. But Wolverine, yeah, let's go back to Wolverine. Wolverine is the strongest DPS in the game. It's not because he's like let me put it like this. A lot of people are going to say he's the strongest DPS in the game because he just utterly obliterates everyone. It's just the fact that he polarizes he makes the game so polarizing, because his whole game plan is, I'm going to take a tank out of the game. And once he does that, yeah, you can't play the game. Again, as a tank main, maybe I'm biased, but tanks are like one of the most, if not the most important roles in the game. If he takes out a tank, everyone else is basically just based on the 1v1s. Everyone else's game plan is based on the 1v1. And whether or not you can win that 1v1, or just based on pure damage output and pure healing output on who's the better healer, who's the better damage dealer. Whereas tanks, they give you a little bit of stability to kind of like chill, you know what I'm saying? So, Wolverine, the reason why he's S tier is simply just because he makes it so that anyone playing the tank role struggles or basically cannot play the game. Now, people are going to say there's counters to him, and yes, there are counters to him. But we'll get into that in a sec, because we've got the 2 main counters coming up soon. But Wolverine, we've been known, he's had a, you know what I'm saying, he's had one of them come ups that we were not expecting from season 0, but he's had that come up, went all the way from D tier to A tier to S tier, and then he got buffed, which just makes him, you know what I'm saying, very, very strong. But that's him. We're going to move on. I'm going to try and quick fire this one. So, Mr. Trash, yeah. No, I'm checking. Mr. Fantastic, he's just an off tank essentially in a DPS's body. He's annoying to kill. That's one thing I will give him. He's annoying to kill, but would I want him, or would I want someone that can genuinely kill people on DPS? Yeah, I'd want someone that can kill people on DPS. So that's Mr. Fantastic. He's just not very fantastic. Now, yeah, this is the person I was saving for the S tier. Invisible Woman. She is the second best healer in the game in my opinion. She's just more consistent than like a Loki, for example. She's more, like I say right now, she's more consistent than Cloak Dagger. And obviously she has the healer. Not only that, she can shut down characters like Wolverine, Hulk with her pull abilities. And she can also defend pretty well with her psychic shields. So that's Invisible Woman. Surprisingly, well, I mean, not really surprising, because if, you know what I'm saying, like from the start of the game we kind of knew she'll be strong, but you know what I'm saying, S tier, deserved. You know what I'm saying, and obviously if you have this lineup, Luna, Invisible Woman, or Loki, and you know what I'm saying, Loki's able to transform into one of them, you know what I'm saying, makes them pretty strong. But that's them, that's where I put, this would be my definitive S tier, I'd say. I want to put Cloak Dagger up here too, but you know my rules, I don't even know why. Yeah, Cloak Dagger's better than Mantis in my opinion, but yeah. Thing, interesting. Very interesting character. I'm actually going to highball Thing. I think the Thing is A tier. Again, I think we still need a little bit more time with him, but I think he's A tier. I think you can actually run the Thing as a low-key solo tank just purely because he can't move. Like, his passive ability is that strong, and this is why people say, oh, he's a huge counter to Wolverine. Me, I don't think he's a huge, I think he's a counter because you can't displace, but Wolverine can still shred the Thing because of his damage ability. You know, I don't think he's that much more of a counter to Wolverine, but I think he's very strong. I think his CC is very strong, especially in his ult. You know, that ult honestly can catch you off guard pretty well. I think he's just a solid pick. I'm actually surprised that that's how it turned out. But yeah, the Thing is pretty solid. The Thing, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't picked him up now, you better pick it. You better pick him up. Yeah, start getting your reps in with the Thing, because I think he's gonna get only better from here on out. Lastly, Human Torch. Damn, like these guys just cannot get a break. Like Mr. Fantastic, but I'm not gonna. Ooh, no. I'm not gonna put Mr. Fantastic down there. I don't think he's that bad, but Human Torch, oh boy, he's a walking shoot me sign. And the thing that I'm annoyed about Human Torch, because it's like they did the same thing that they did with Adam Warlock. He's meant to be one of the fastest characters in Marvel, yet he's slow. He has no mobility. Like a lot of people will downplay that, but having no mobility, especially as a flying character, you're legitimately a walking shoot me sign. I think it takes too long for you to set up your fire traps. I think his ult is there. Obviously, if you have Storm and Human Torch, boy, that combo goes crazy, but Storm is banned most of the time in high rank, so Human Torch is kind of useless. But yeah, that's my tier list. That is my definitive Season 1 tier list. Excuse me. I think this might be the last Marvel Rivals video that I do. You know, I think you guys, obviously, I know you guys want to see more I'm saying video essays, more in-depth content, so I'm gonna make sure to get those out. I feel like this video I already planned it to get out for you know, I actually planned it to get out last week, but you know, I had a couple of complications, had to, you know what I'm saying, this is not even that hard of a video to make, but obviously I just wasn't able to record, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I need to adjust. I don't think so. I think I'm pretty satisfied with how I made this tier list. So yeah, that's it. You know, I know people are going to be screaming about certain things, certain placements, you know, argue about that in the comment sections, you know what I'm saying, share your opinions. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching. If you like my commentary and are new to the channel, please leave a like and also subscribe, because that very much helped me out. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and have a lovely rest of your day.